Hello, hello everyone.
Hello, hello.
It's been a year.
I know. How has it been a year already?
Hello, hello, you both.
Hello. We've been having technical
Hello.
difficulties as well. I don't know what's going on. My Zoom hates me. So Irena's just do more work that I was planning on doing.
Hello there from South Africa,
Hi.
from
Um,
Spain.
Hi from Maryland.
Hi
I'm from
everyone.
Edmonton,
Uh,
Canada.
so I don't know how many new people we have, but
Florida.
please use chat today when we start. And I'm gonna try to mute everyone so uh, we can start the meeting. Martin, can you unmute yourself though? And should we
Yeah.
also
Sorry, I,
like
I was I was letting other people in and I can't do two things at once. I can't on both sides because they're on opposite sides of the screen letting people in and the microphone. I still don't know why I can't do these polls. I don't know. I'm not gonna, I'll
but
fix with it.
we'll muddle through somehow. We'll manage,
Yeah.
I'm sure. Welcome everyone to this madness. We're a little bit rusty, as you can tell, so the technology doesn't cooperate and whatever, but we'll figure it out. Like as we go, we'll figure it out. Welcome everyone. So Martin, it's been a whole year, huh?
It has been a whole year. And some people may have watched the live that we did, but obviously we met in real life.
We did. We met in Orlando, Florida this year. So finally it happened.
And
After 4 years of doing this madness together, we finally got to meet in person.
like so cool. Like it still just blows my mind that I spent 3.5 weeks in Florida. The
You
end.
know, we were so unprepared because, like, if we thought about it logically, right, we should have brought at least one Stephen West shawl and take some pictures together with the shawl. Something we didn't even take that many pictures,
No, we really
so we'll
didn't.
have to do it again sometimes. So we'll have to meet again and take
We
more
will.
pictures.
But they're almost like the best holidays though, right? When you don't end up taking lots of photos because you're kind of just in the moment.
Right. Well, let's try the polls just to see if it works to warm up a little bit. So I'm gonna launch the first one. And it's basically where in the world. Oh, no, I did the wrong one, but like whatever, that works too, right? Are you team kit, team stash, or team hand dyed?
Now, this is
Martin,
interesting.
did you see the poll though?
I can see the poll. I mean, I was going to say for
Okay.
everyone else's admin behind the scenes, I can usually create the polls and launch them, and then I can do the admin while Irina chats, but I can't do that this year. But now you've shared it, I can't vote in it, but I can see it and I can end it.
Okay, perfect.
It's
So
it's
you
definitely a Zoom. It's not me. It's definitely a Zoom thing because I can see half the functionality.
listen, at least we all here, you know.
While we wait for that one,
Oh,
can I show you my new blue?
that's so pretty. So you just got it yesterday, right? Or
Yeah,
Sunday.
on Sunday at because Stephen and Penelope had a stall at Yarndale, and I wasn't really planning on buying any more yarn because obviously I bought my kit, so I've got my greys and my yellows that people would have seen. So I'm team kit, so I got my Grello kit. Um, and then while I was there, I was like, maybe I need like a flash of something. Um, and it was the last. I wanted like blue or purple, like literally almost like the complete opposite end of a yellow. And they had that there, and I was like, and then spoiler, I'll show you how far I've got in a minute, but I'm gonna the next row that I knit, this is making
Wait,
it.
wait, wait. You can start sharing your. We're still
No,
talking
I said I
about.
won't show you. I won't show you yet. But when we get there, the next row, I feel like I've had a really good day off.
You know what happened in my life though? I I woke up today because of your messaging me on WhatsApp, and you were like, "Oh God, did you see
Don't
it? Did
break
you
out
see
the
it?"
clues
So,
here.
so I went and I peeked, and as soon as I peeked, I had doubts about my yarn choices. I was like, "That's just not gonna work. I'm not that really happy with it." So I was thinking, okay, I don't want to change everything, but maybe if I'll change one color, it's gonna work out better. So if you remember, I had like three very close colors to that, and then there was a dark burgundy. So I decided to use this color instead of that color. So now there is two pale beiges and pink and burgundy in my kit, in my whatever stash kit, right?
Yeah.
So we got 30% team kit, 54% team stash, and we have 15% team hand dyed. Can we please talk to whoever hand dyed first? Can you raise a hand? There's a react button. So if you raise your hand, I'll see you and I can call on you and you can tell us about your wonderful hand dyeing experience if you're up to it.
While they do that, on an admin point, I can now see the poll panel. So you tell me when you're ready and I can do that.
Michelle, can you unmute yourself?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi,
Well,
Michelle.
so what did you concocted this time?
So I have gone for blues and greens this time. Grab them all together.
And you did it last year as well, right? You hand dyed your own yarn?
I didn't do it last year because of my health, but I do always use hand dyes because I want to enjoy my experience.
Those are beautiful. I love them.
Yeah, they're really great.
Did you already start knitting? Or you like?
I've just started in the last half an hour. So
spoiler, major spoiler alert.
Sorry.
I feel like if people are here, they know there's going to be spoilers, right?
Well, let's try to say, like, if you have done a lot, try to say spoiler alert if you can remember that. If not, then guys, like you are forewarned. You've been here before, and if you haven't been before here, we are a little bit unruly, so everything happens here is like not planned much. So it's part of the loveliness of this madness, right? Well, Michelle, welcome. I'm glad that you're joining us this time. Heidi, can you join us?
Hello. How are we doing, everyone?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Oh, I'm okay. I'm busy. I've been so busy. I've hardly knit anything, so there's no spoilers here. I'll just show you yarn, shall I?
Of course.
So I started with a color I'm calling Tornado Grey.
Love it.
And because I wanted something that was like really neutral, but dark and moody, and because I've gone with all orange this year. So I've got all the oranges.
Oh, that's so pretty.
There's a surprise.
So yeah, funny that. And I'm calling it Grorange. I'm bringing a Grello is such a thing, but Grorange needs to be something. I feel so.
No, for sure.
Got like a Monarch Orange, which is kind of a sandy, beached out, bleachy kind of orange, and then I've got a UV so that's color B. Color C is my UV. Super bright orange, and they go so lush with the grey. I mean, they both work so beautifully. Those two, though, I had a real dilemma over B and C because they don't look great together in the skein, but balled up, they look better. It's worked out. So,
I mean, I was concerned about the same thing because, like, my heart was craving low contrast. Yeah. But then I was afraid that it's not going to be visible. Like, did you?
Yeah, I think it will. And I mean, I said to somebody this morning, you can play around with the order of stuff. You can introduce another color. Like I'm team break all the rules and throw beads in. Like I've got beads ready. Like, so I just feel like it's always about like throw your color pop in or whatever if you feel like something it doesn't quite work.
He was chatting about beads earlier, and I was like, where are you going to put the bead? You're not going to do beads on brioche, are you?
No, because I'm not completely crazy.
I wouldn't put it past you, though. That's got to be
Well, you know,
by at
I'm
some
going to
point.
say never.
I was
And then
actually thinking like there is this little spot where there is need to together yarn over rows, and I was thinking that over there beads could be just
Yeah,
fine.
beads go. But I like beads on slip stitches, and I suppose yarn overs it could work. It just depends on the overall look. So I've got a kind of plan in my head, and we'll see where we go.
Well,
Like,
did you start knitting yet?
I have started, but I've done like I'm just in the fourth row, I think, of the brioche, like
You've been
really
cheering
early.
me on today.
Yeah, I've been dyeing other stuff today. So, and that's my final color. So it's just a darker orange. So together, again, they all really go with the gray, but they kind of work together. I mean, I'm happy with them. So we'll see how we go.
No, it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
We have Karen from Sweden who hand spun her yarn. Karen, would you raise your hand and tell us about that experience, if you're willing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I decided last year that I wanted to.
Yeah,
can you hear me?
Yeah, I was just trying to find you to add you to the spotlight. Okay, go for it.
So thanks. I decided last year that I wanted to make this year's shawl in hand-spun yarn and it in neutral colors. So I've been spinning. Let me show you. It's from very, very dark brown.
Yeah.
That's going to be
those in the middle and the white. And so it's neutral colors. It's natural colors from Hanui wool in New Zealand mixed with mulberry silk. So it's absolutely, it's the softest yarn you can imagine.
And I just ask you a difficult question. Major spoiler alert. Can I ask you a question though? When did you start spinning? Like, how long did it take you to spin all this yarn?
I spun it during Tour de Fleece this summer, but I spun some other things also. So maybe 10 days, 2 weeks, something like that. I don't spun enough, but I figure, and I have more wool, so I figure I just knit, and when I see I need more of one color or another, I just spin some more.
Right.
Are they plied together or are they singles?
Two plied.
Oh, see, that's my like I think I spin. I'm talking
something like that.
Yeah, and I think I spin really fine. I think it's really fine, and then when I ply it and wash it, it's Aran weight. And I know it's something to do with the way I ply, or I've got to put more twist into it. So I haven't done it this year, but one year is my goal. I would love to be able to spin and do a spun one. But looking at how thin your yarn was, I was like, is that plied or is that's amazing? The fact that you've plied that. It looks so
it's plied, yeah. I think it's like 360 meters, something like that.
Wow.
100 grams. So
beautiful. Well, does anybody who didn't use kit this year want to show us your yarn pick from your stash? Because I'm curious to see who is joining me. Emma Grace. Hi. You're muted. It's still muted. It's on the bottom left corner. There is a mic, crossed mic.
I think I got it. Have I got it? I got it. You can hear me now.
What did you pick?
It says something in the middle of my screen. Sorry, I'll ignore that. So mine is hand dyed, but not by me. It's hand dyed by Gemma of the Little Grey Girl, who's a hand dyer here in the UK. She's absolutely genius. I was so lucky because I happened to be chatting to her about options, and I showed her I had a mood board, and she said, "Oh yeah," she said, "I can do something for you, no problem." So she's dyed according to my mood board. I don't know whether maybe some people will guess what my inspiration was. Something to do with a big deal that's happening tomorrow. But I've got That's my colour A, colour B, colour C. I don't think I can hold them all. And then colour D. So like that.
Those are beautiful.
Thank you. And then I've also, instead of a mohair there, I've got a silver grey, which is a bit of a nod to Gemma, but it's also on sparkle for a special reason too. Yeah, yes, Deb, it's a Swifty kit.
I would say, no, this all makes sense now. So obviously I'm good friends with Gemma, and she said had a custom kit request. And she told me that I didn't realize it was you, and she told me that it was for Swifty.
Yeah, yeah, that was me. I love it. I love it. I'm absolutely in love with it. I had a hard time choosing the colour order. That was difficult, especially because I've got two different shades of two different colours, if that makes sense, rather than 4 colours or a gradient plus 1. Yeah, so I found that like it took me about an hour, I think, this morning.
It's not easy. It's not easy. Somebody is asking how to do the hand up. It's in the React. If you click on React, there is you can raise your hand. Andrew, can you please join us?
Yes, hang on, let me lower my hand super quick. Yes, so hi, I'm Andrew. You might have seen me on YouTube as the Neon Knitter. I live in Minnesota. So first off, here's my Go-Go Dynamo from last year.
That's pretty.
I actually just finished it last night because I made a huge mistake on it on clue 4, and my eyes completely went right over the first decrease row in clue 4, and so I tried to fudge all my decreases at the end of clue 4, and it just wouldn't lie flat. And so then I dreaded all summer ripping out clue 4, and so then I was like, I have a month till MKAL, I better get it done. So then I did. So this morning I was still weaving ends in. so I still have to block it, but okay, spoiler, I've gotten the first welt done. This is where I'm at.
Nice.
So here's my color A. This is I don't have the label for this one, but it's brown sheep, nature spun fingering. I had this giant cone of it, like a 2,000-yard cone, and most of it's going into a sweater, but there was going to be enough left over, and so I wound the whole cone into a ball, which actually ended up being this big, but there was a couple pieces that were knotted together, so it ended up in a few pieces. But this color is called Baked Beans.
Nice.
That's cool.
And then my color B, so I'm using this Haiku Madrona yarn for the other 3 colors, and this is called Sound Seaways, so it's this blue for my color B. My color C is this, it's called Meadowgrass. And then my color D is Beetroot Stew. So I've got those 4 colors together.
Nice.
And I picked my order based on how Steven did in the video. Again, I don't like spoilers, so I've been looking away when y'all show spoilers, but this just reminded me most of his color A, and then when he showed in the beginning of the video the ADB kind of gradient thing, I kind of threw that together, and then this most resembled color C. So
I really needed that thing because when I started watching, I was like, I have no idea how I'm going to do it. And then I was really lucky that he had my actual kit. And you went, you could either do this or you could do this. It's like, right, brilliant, decision made. I've just gone with what Steven said.
So that's what I'm doing.
I want to do the next poll, and meanwhile, while you're answering the polls, I'm gonna ask Enrique to. So we basically, like on the first poll, we were 28% Team Kit, 56% Team Stash, and 16% hand-dyed yarns. So let's do the second poll. Hold on one second. Since we just touched base on that with Andrew, when it comes to mystery, when the first clue dropped, did you skip straight to the end, watch Steven talk for 3 hours, 15 minutes, and 32 seconds, or no spoilers till you're done knitting? Enrique, do you want to join us? Just unmute yourself.
Yeah. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
Hey.
Welcome.
Well, welcome. Well, after so many shows and years, I thought this year I skip it because I'm too busy. I'm in a Fair Isle black hole. So, but Martin dropped his video, and I thought, but I was too late for a kit this year. So I think I have so many colors from stash from kits from last 8 years. So also know that it doesn't matter which color you're gonna choose. So I have more than 4 colors because this one I have about 380 meters.
Yeah.
This one also a little bit less. So I choose this one as my main color because this one I have 100 grams of. But I have this.
Nice.
Long
life in the long
life in the long grass stash. But I have also mohair. Like I think I skip 1 color for the mohair because mohair with the fingering weight I don't like. So maybe I do 2 of the strands of mohair for 1 color, but never mind the color placement. It's always great. Did you I don't mind.
Did you watch today's video as soon as it came out, or did you look?
Yeah.
Or did you watch the whole thing?
I skip.
You're the team skip.
I don't mind. I'm team skip because I want to know.
Yeah, we have 57% of us are team skip. 19% watch Steven all 3 hours, 15 minutes, and 32 seconds. And then there is 24% of us who don't want any spoilers till you're done. So for those of you who are in the team no spoilers, you guys might want to listen to us, but not necessarily look because there are definitely going to be some spoilers here. And I just know that.
put a magazine over the laptop screen.
Right.
I think.
Well, I didn't start because I think I'm not sure the placement of the colors, but I know that it doesn't matter. It's no problem with Steven.
Right.
So.
Right. Well, I'm happy that you're joining us again this year. Sarah, do you want to ask?
Hiya. Yeah, so I've spent far too much money at Yarndale on Saturday and Sunday. So I'm sort of, it's definitely team stash, but it's also team cheap as possible. So these are all West Yorkshire spinner sock yarn.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful colors.
And sorry, my lighting is horrific. And this really is a spoiler because I've been...
Are you done with all 6 scallops?
I've got a few rows left. No, this is only one. But yeah, got most of the way through that. So yay.
That's very pretty. Okay, so are you team mystery or no mystery?
Well, when I put it on, I was like, I'm going to watch the whole video. I'm not going to look. And then I saw it was 3 hours, 15 minutes. And I was like, no, I actually have other things to do today. So I watched about 10 minutes and then went to the end. But yeah, it's hard not to when it's there and you know it's there.
You know, the thing is also, like, I feel like, I don't know if you guys agree with me on this specific first clue. I find that, like, a lot of years, I was thinking that, like, if I didn't watch that video, I couldn't even get necessarily through the clue because he gives a lot of tips and tricks and, like, really useful things. And today, like, the clue was, like, pretty straightforward from the instructions. So I watched the first beginning of the video, but then I sort of figured it out for the rest. So I was skipping definitely towards the end.
I was kind of between the same. So I watched it and I kind of told Katie that I was going dark. I was like, right, you guys keep chatting in the WhatsApp. I'm not going to look at you. I'm going to watch now. And I watched until we'd got to almost the end of the first scallop. And then I was like, right, okay. Then when I realized like scallop 2 and you would just repeating. So then I flicked to the end. So I did eke it out slightly while I got started. And then I went to the end, but more as well around placement for the mohair. So I've got my extra mohair and I'm going to add it in, and I know where I'm going to add it in based on seeing the finished one. So I'm glad I went to the end this time.
Wait, can I give 3 tips before I forget? Because I'm going to forget and then we're going to run out of time. So like if you guys just about to start, I have 3 tips that I gave to my group of unruly stitchers, and they were all like very excited about those. So the tip number 1, when you get to your first welt, don't like read the instructions actually, and don't skip those yarn overs like I did.
Did it on scallop 1 and I did it on scallop 2. Oh my, I'm glad it's not just me.
Okay, so that's tip number 1, right? Like read instructions actually. And tip number 2, when you're doing the welt, there is 3 loose ends that you have from other yarns. Hide them inside of the welt. So that's gonna save you all the loose end drama later. You're gonna like save so much time by doing that. So do that. This is tip number 2. And then I had another one, but I can't think of it now. But it'll come to me. So
I've got a welt tip that someone gave to me this morning about for ease of picking them up, use another needle.
Yeah, I did that. That was my 3rd tip actually also.
So rather than the way that Stephen does it is you pick it up each time. Actually, what I was doing, I've got a smaller DPN and I've picked up the 18 stitches or whatever it is. And then you're just doing like almost like a 2 needle bind off because it's so much quicker. And I found that's been really helpful on all the welts I've done so far.
Yeah, so if you guys have some brilliant tips, also don't forget to share it with us. Suzanne, do you want to join us?
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Okay, hopefully you can hear me. Yeah?
Yep.
Okay, so I am well, of course, like every year, I bought a few kits. So I got the lovely hex kit. Okay, absolutely gorgeous. Which exactly matches my still unfinished geo gradient. So anyway, wasn't gonna use that, but I happened to find, as you do, a whole bunch of the Uncommon Thread. She's an English dyer, and Loop were having a sale. I mean, can you imagine anything nicer? Loop were having a sale because she stopped doing this particular base. She stopped, so they were having a sale. So I bought a load, and these colors, you see, I've got 5 here. The colors match that Razzle Dazzle kit, whatever it was. I don't know if you've seen it, which I really like. So I've got the sort of yellowy, the pinky, the dark blue, and the teal. I don't do mohair dares either. I think it just makes it fuzzy. I think you lose stitch definition. And I really like the stitch definition in Stephen's shawls because I think they show off what you're doing a bit more. So I've got an extra color for that, but it doesn't stop there. Like Katie, beads.
Oh, lovely.
I'm a bead addict. I put beads everywhere. But this year, I've gone one step further. Ooh.
Yeah, I'm thinking of sparkly yarn somewhere. Like, I don't know.
Paillettes. And I've got some more as well. This little Bloom Chen from Loop. So, yeah, I'm just going to make it because there's, you know how you can go on to Ravelry and the page, and there's a test knitter who's using that Razzle Dazzle, whatever it's called, kit, Razzle Lighthouse kit, and I favorited the pattern so I can see how she's done it, and she put in her notes that she's used paillettes, she sounds like she's used everything. So I thought, well, that's a great inspiration.
And so talking about Ravelry, actually, like while I have you guys here, I have a group on Ravelry called Fiber Chats. So we have like, there's some discussion going on there, people sharing their colors as well, putting some tips. And there, most importantly, there is a complete schedule for Humans of Westknits. So join that group and like, I know you have a lot of groups to participate in, but why not one more? Nikki, do you want to join us? Wait, did we lose Nikki?
Did you see me?
Here, hold on one sec. Let me add you again.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know where I went.
Yeah, I think you like took the hand down and it took you off the thing.
Oh, I've gotcha. I am so rummy. My clue drops at 1 a.m. on the Pacific Coast in America. I was the third person that liked his video. I started right then, and like 3.5 hours straight, I worked on it until some idiot the next street over ran into a transformer and all the power went out for 2 hours. So I am on my second scallop, but I
where did we go? Why do we keep losing you?
I don't know. There we go.
There. Okay.
So I am on my second scallop, but I was just so pleased with my color choices I had to share. I have this 3-color fade of blue.
That's beautiful.
And my soloist is the traffic cone orange.
That's lovely. That's beautiful.
It's turning out so fabulous. I am just pleased as punch.
Well, when you saw that clue drop at 1 o'clock in the morning Pacific time, did you go straight to the end, or are you keeping a mystery?
No. I had the yarn that everything was ready. I listened to him and I hit pause when I get to where he's at. If he speeds it, I don't mind if I catch a glimpse of a spoiler, but I just like stay the course until I will watch all 3 hours and 32 minutes.
And 15 seconds.
I haven't got there yet. I'm about an hour in.
Right. Well, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Sean, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, real quick. I just wanted to say it was a pleasure meeting you at Flock. That was so much fun.
It was lovely meeting you there. Sean, do you want to unmute yourself? Is it Sean? Oh, Sian. I don't know how. Sean. Hi.
Sean.
Okay.
It gets most people. Yeah. I decided to do cotton this year because no one seems to ever do it. I thought, give it a try. So I ended up going for a purple theme. Yeah. Oh, mate. Finger cake. So I've done all purples this year.
Wow.
Like 50 Shades of Purple.
Yeah. Spoiler, but it seems to be coming up quite nice.
Oh, that's beautiful. So you're on the second scallop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not doing the brioche. Didn't fancy that one.
Well, you know what? Since you mentioned it, let's do the next poll.
Should we do the next poll?
Yeah. So. Yeah. So, how much do you guys love brioche? So there is 3 options. I eat brioche for breakfast. Can't teach an old dog a new trick, and never tried it. But what can possibly go wrong?
We can always rip it back.
So Sean, are you like more team like can't teach the new old dog new tricks, or you just
I'm a slow knitter anyway. Like this is literally taken me since it dropped to get to this stage, and I have done nothing. I've literally booked a day off to do it.
The best day.
Yeah, I generally don't think I would finish it if I tried to do that technique as well. I'd need to do that in like coasters or something first to try it. Then on something this big, I just couldn't. So I've literally got that many stitch markers in to work out where I am. I mean, to say which side's what at the moment.
Well, we have 69% of people who are very comfortable with brioche. We have 25% of people who never tried it, but think what can possibly go wrong. I'm really curious to talk to those people.
Yeah, and I think this clue at the moment, again, spoiler for those if you've not read, there is brioche, but it's like this big. It's actually quite manageable. So for those that haven't yet got that far, or even actually if you've got that far, right, there's nothing saying you have to do brioche thing or all garter stitch. So like you could do the center panel when you get there as brioche, but it's such a little bit of brioche and there's no shaping. It's actually quite straightforward. It might be a good one to have a go at.
Mm. Yeah, I think it's actually a perfect pattern to learn how to brioche if you haven't tried brioche, because it's super simple and Stephen like holds your hand through the whole time. So if you're curious, you can give it a try on one of the scallops and see if you like it. You might become one of the 69% and eat brioche for breakfast. Catherine, do you want to join us?
Sure. First of all, I'm at work and I would have loved to have booked today off, but I work in the local for Edmonton Public Teachers and we're about to go on strike on Monday, so things are just a little hectic. I got this kit, and these are the first couple of colors. This is me and Punk Rock Unicorn with lots of chatting over WhatsApp. And as soon as I saw this color, it's called Witchcraft. I thought of Martin immediately because of Elphaba, so I had to go with this.
Absolutely.
I still have not figured out which is going to be color A, B, C, and D yet. And I don't normally watch I watch Stephen's videos as I'm knitting, so I don't go through to the end. But at the very beginning, he said, if you're not sure which way to put your colors, skip to the end. So I did, and that didn't help. I do have some Witchcraft in the alpaca, and I also have some of the taffy mohair, and I have some mohair that matches the purple, and I have black as well, but I thought that's boring. I love the blue that you got, Martin, that royal blue. It was so gorgeous. I used it in a shawl that was all mohair gradient, marled, in the spring, and it's just so fabulous. I need to get more. But it doesn't go with this. But anyway, so yeah, I'm trying to figure out, like, it was supposed to be a gradient with a lead singer, but then he said, you've got a lead singer, you're going to make it your main color. And I'm thinking, oh, I don't know if I like that. And then he said color C was a soloist. So I thought, well, maybe this should be color C, but then who's color A? So I haven't made I'll throw something together when I get home from work tonight, and I'll probably be knitting late into the evening. But I checked, I eat brioche for breakfast, but I don't really. I just watch Stephen's videos, and as you said, he holds your hand, and I've never had a problem, so far. So we're going brioche.
Well, fingers crossed it's gonna continue that way. Helen, do you wanna join us?
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So I also checked. I eat brioche for breakfast, and I really don't. But I've done it a couple of times. So as long as it's like straight brioche, it should be fine.
Right.
So
I tell you like one super funny short story. So this summer I went to this spring I went to Swiss Yarn Festival, and I decided to take a brioche class on how to fix your mistake by Julie Knits in Paris.
Yeah.
And basically you're coming with a little swatch, and she goes, oh, look, your kitty just like tore the whole thing apart, and let's fix it. So, but that's not the funny part, right? The funny part that I made the swatch like early in the morning, right before the class. I came to the class only to realize that I did the whole thing completely wrong. And that wasn't brioche. There's sticky net brioche, which I didn't even think it was a thing. So I had the perfect mistake swatch there at the class.
I think she just rips everything out. And I know you're there to do that as a class, but it's just that.
It was hilarious. Like, that book, Everybody Poops. that was the same thing. It was like everybody makes mistakes. Like it was very refreshing, actually. Well, go ahead. Like what colors did you decide to go?
So I have a kit, the lighthouse something. So it's let's see what we can see. Oh. So this one is very pale pink and orange and brown, and then we have some blue.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love that.
What's to say about that? I did start to think about this summer. I started to think about trying to like pick a cheaper brand of yarn and trying to set up my own color scheme and so on. So I had an idea that was kind of in this theme. But then when the kits came out, it's like, oh, you want a kit, don't you?
Of course you want a kit. Well, thank you for joining us. And do you want to join us also?
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
And
welcome.
Thank you. It's lovely to be here.
Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back. I didn't do it last year. It was the first year I didn't do it. And Catherine kept giving me heck all the time because I didn't do it. And I wasn't going to do it this year. Yeah, that was her. I wasn't going to do it this year, but then I watched Martin.
He's a bad influence.
I'm an enabler. I'm happy to be it. I told you.
You are such an enabler. It's ridiculous. And so, of course, I decided I'm just going to do this. So this is 2 days before the clue drops. So I run to look in my stash. Do I have anything? No, of course I don't, because everything I have is multicolored and I had no solids. So I had to dye some. So I dyed this one first, which is a very pale pink. Then I dyed this medium pink. It's hard to tell, but it's just a little darker. And I had a fight with this when I was skeining it up. So it's into 50-gram balls because we didn't get on very well. This took me, I'm not even going to tell you how long it took me. Then I got this slightly darker pink. So we've got a fade. And then
ooh, nice.
Because I love purple and pink. So I took the lightest, and I think this is going to be A. B is going to be the sort of softer muted color. It's really hard to show you that color.
Yeah.
Because he said this was going to get used later for a star of itself.
Yeah.
Or no, not that one, this one. And then anyway, so those are my 4 colors. I got up this morning, I was super excited, saw that it was a 3-hour video and thought, oh my God, what have I let myself in? Martin, you will want some more.
Well, and if you guys don't know, Anne has her own YouTube channel. Can you put the name of your YouTube channel in the comments?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
You guys know what to do.
Give Anne a follow.
And by the way, like if you by some chance not subscribers to our channels, Martin and I would appreciate a subscribing, you hitting a subscribe button. It always helps. And we're gonna be posting between the 2 channels. So this party video is gonna go on Martin's channel, but the other Humans of Westknits are gonna go on my channel. And Anne here has her own channel, and we have Sita, who is also a YouTuber, and I know Gary is here, Gary Boston, he is also a YouTuber. So if you see a YouTuber there, give them a subscription little hit, because it costs nothing and it helps us grow. Thanks so much. And
well, my channel is more than just knitting though. I do cross stitch and I do crochet and all that kind of stuff. But
most people do multiple things.
Yeah. Today, actually, I'm heading out to a cross-stitch retreat for the next 4 days.
Oh,
so
nice.
I don't know how much, so I don't know how much knitting I'm going to get done. I'm going to take it with me, and this is a spoiler. It's a huge spoiler. Get ready. Hold on. That's as far as But anyway, I love it. I love it.
It's a
So I
start,
just have to
definitely.
see.
Well, thank you
But
for
anyway.
joining us. Hannah,
Thank you.
join also. Hannah.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hello. Yeah, I'm also in the team. I eat brioche for breakfast.
Anna.
And yeah, I think this simple brioche, so it's only the basic, and with doing it continental and in a one pass brioche type, it's really easy to do it later on in the scallops without an extra needle. I think
Right.
that's really helpful in this construction.
Yeah.
So my colors,
super clever constructions. I was talking to my husband today, and I was like, you know what? I have to take hat off to Steven, because every single time he blows my mind with like how neat all the finishes are and how clever that construction is.
yeah, that's he's so great in this. And so these are my colors.
I love
So
that.
I took
Nice.
green and blue colors, and yeah, that's color A, B, C, and D. And
That's beautiful.
yeah. And because I'm on sick leave today, I really had much time to knit, so it's really a big spoiler, I think, now, because I'm on scallop 4.
Oh my God, you win. That's a lot of
You continental knitters are crazy, honestly. I met Malia for the first time from Stephen and Penelope at Yarndale, and we were joking about how quickly someone would be able to finish. And she's like, it'll be one of the Germans or one of the Scandinavians. They'll be finished by the end of the first day.
I stand by the fact that it's much faster to do brioche, not everything, but to do brioche in continental knitting. It's just faster, just fewer movements.
Yes.
So it goes faster, you know.
But throwing makes more sense though, because I've got to bring the yarn forward to purl. So I just bring the yarn forward to purl and it creates the yarn over. It feels more efficient doing it as a
I don't know. It does not make any sense to me.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to convert anybody. I'm just like, you know, and it's like specifically for brioche. Like we can do another video of that, like speed competition, and see who does faster brioche. Sita, can you unmute yourself, please? Welcome.
Hello. Hi.
Welcome.
Hi, Michael. Hi, Martin.
Hi.
Yeah, nice to see you guys again.
How is things in South Africa? Are you in South Africa now?
Yes, I'm in South Africa.
Like I never know where you are. You're traveling the world. If you guys don't know Sita, she has her own YouTube channel, which you have to follow. Like, please put the link to your channel in the comments later.
I'll do that.
And she takes groups of people to
India.
And she does wonderful treasure of India kind of like tours, which always look amazing. So if you guys ever wanted to go to India, talk to Sita. She would be a wonderful guide for you there.
Thanks. Thank you very much.
Well, tell us about your colors. What did you choose?
Well, I first want to tell you that actually for the past 4 years, I have this very dear friend, and we have an annual get together and cast on party. So she lives in the winelands of South Africa. So we are here toasting. Cheers to the MKAL.
Cheers.
And yeah. And so we get together every year and we knit our shawls together. So I've sort of got a mixed bag. It's sort of stash, which I bought a few months ago on a sale, and something that I dyed. So I've got this sort of dark indigo color as my main color. And then this is a color that I've dyed. It's sort of a gold. I'm using this as B or the welts. And then what else have I got? I've got a lovely, where is it now? I've got another sort of rust. So that's what it looks like.
That's pretty.
And then there's this lovely kind of variegated that I dyed as well. So it's quite a nice combination, quite cohesive. But of course, I'm adding, I've got 4 mohairs, which I'm actually using. I'm making each welt in sort of a different mohair. I've got this bright orange and a gold mohair. And, I change the rules up as I go along. So spoiler, if you would like to see where I am, if I don't lose my stitches, I'm loving what I see so far. I'm just finishing the second welt.
Ooh, nice. That was so
And
beautiful.
you can see I've decided to do the last welt in the double mohair of the bright orange. And yeah, I think this is a great one. I'm really loving it. And with regards to do I just skip to the end? Well, I do that because actually I do find when I first started doing the MKALs, which was in 2015, basically 10 years ago, there were no videos. And
Right.
I find the videos a little bit confusing. I rather just work from the notes. I watch the video a bit and then I say, okay, fine, that's it. I've watched a bit and then I get on with it. And I'm loving it. And actually, I've actually today decided that I love these colors, but they're not really my colors. So I ordered my second colors today for my next one.
Well, my friend Anne, who is the owner of my local yarn store, The Unruly Stitch, and if you guys in Western Massachusetts or anywhere in Massachusetts, make sure you stop by The Unruly Stitch because it's the best yarn shop ever. Stand by that. So she changed her mind today from the morning like 4 times about the yarn, and especially recently she became a yarn dyer, so now she's completely unstoppable. So there's nothing wrong with having a second hit or second thoughts. Well, I'm so glad
you did that this morning though, right? Because I messaged you about the kit
this morning,
and you changed one of your main colors.
That's true. Martin, can you show us I know you have to run soon, so like just if in case we run out of time, can you show us your progress?
So
yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Sita.
Wow, lovely.
So I'm on scallop 2. I've just done the welt, so I've got the eyelet section.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I've got gray and yellow, and then.
And you, by the way, you scared me because I was planning to stop after the first one, but then you said, "Oh, it's so fiddly," so I jumped onto the second one. So this is my progress, and I'm actually like very happy with these colors. I think they look
great now.
I think it like this pink. I honestly like the back a little better.
Yeah, I do as well. I really like the yellow on the back of mine.
But like I think the pink was the right choice.
But I just found, and I think it probably is I think as soon as I finish this second scallop, I'm going to sew in the ends, because if you haven't got that far yet and you are going to do the brioche, you basically put the brioche from scallop 1, or you put scallop 1 onto a needle, because of course with brioche you need to slide all the way to the end. So at one point when you're doing the brioche section on the next scallop, you've got your live needle, plus you've got this on another needle, and you're picking stitches up, and there's all the ends and the needles are getting tied up.
So Martin, back to my tip number 1. You see how there is no loose ends at all? They all hidden inside of the welt. So everything. When you're connecting the welt together, when you need those stitches from 8 rows below with the ones, you put all the loose ends inside of the welt, and it just
I misunderstood.
There's absolutely no loose ends.
I misunderstood what you were saying. I thought you were on about just the welt end. I hadn't thought about putting
No, everything. You bury everything.
Game changer. That's made this Zoom valuable on its. What? That's right. Okay, I've got one more welt to go, so I'm going to try that when I get back from band before the next cast on party. I'm going to do that section.
Look at it's like it changes the whole thing. Then you have no ends at all.
All right, Irene's tip's much better. Mine was sewing your ends. Irene's like, don't bother sewing those in. But this is, so I put my mohair in the grey, but what I'm going to do now with my blue is on the schematic where this is effectively the bottom one, and then you have the 3 coming up here, then the 2 on the end. The 3 in the middle are going to have blue eyelets. So I'm not going to hold it double. Right. It'll be a bit loosey. But I'm going to have the blue, which I think will be really nice. A bit of symmetry in the middle. 3 little blue panels.
Let me ask you something quickly off the record. I know you have to run. Do you think if I'll continue the meeting with the 4 more people who have their hands up, I can edit without you, right? It's still going to be recording on your computer.
I think, yeah. I'll just leave mine open. I'll just leave mine running.
Okay.
And then so you end the meeting, and then
Martin, if you guys don't know, Martin is participating in the band, and as usually when it happens, his band has a competition at the same time as the MKAL.
And I wasn't going to band tonight because it was happened on party.
Right. No. So he has rehearsal between the first party and the second party. So he has to run. We're gonna let him go.
Yes. And then I think I wasn't going, but I'm missing rehearsal next week because I'm away with work. It's like I'm going to get told, and I'm playing on the end chair, and I've got a solo to play, and I don't want to do, and it's a whole thing.
Okay, it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure to have you here, Patrick. Do you want to join me?
Hey, so I got up around just around 5:30 this morning. Really quite excited the night before, and started and so far this just to answer some of those questions. I didn't skip to the end. I was half asleep because I got home from work late last night, so I was like kind of a little bit groggy. So I actually had to view the first few minutes of the video just to see what did you mean pick up stitches. My knitting brain hadn't turned on yet, so it was just a process of waking up to Christmas morning and getting in that mood. So yeah, I only watched the first couple minutes of the video, and then I saw 3 hours. I'm like, well, that'll be fun to visit at some point after the MKAL is done. But yeah, this shawl is actually for a music teacher friend of mine, and I just thought it'd be appropriate to gift it to her, given that we have a good musical relationship and a teaching relationship. So she picked the colors for the shawl, and this is I mean, I just started this morning, so I haven't got too far into it yet, and but we've got it's kind of this is color B, and I'm calling this the tenor voice, and I'm mixing it with a baritone mohair. So the baritone and tenor are going to be working together for this shawl. And then we got the color C, which is kind of called it's called Rocky Road. So I think this is like the alto section, and then color A is the basses, and and this is I don't know. I think this is maybe the soprano. My teacher, my teacher friend, she really liked kind of earthy fall tones. So
now those are beautiful together.
Yeah. So I said no spoilers just because I'm not going to be able to keep this shawl for myself. So there's not the rush to be productive to have like something to wear right away. So I'm going to really enjoy the process with this and just keep the mystery up. I don't mind if I see a spoiler like in a Zoom video, but I like to skip to the end to what's the end of clue 1 look like? That kind of anticipation I'm not going to engage with. So, but I'll just I love working from paper patterns. Like I don't need videos anymore. Like I've been knitting now for 17 years, so
Oh, you're
I
also
don't.
very good at knitting from the pattern. Ask me how I know. He just finished my shawl sway with me, so
Yeah.
it's more complicated. There is like lace in it and some like large repeats of the lace. So he's a great knitter right there.
I, I I'm so happy to finish that sway with me because now I can actually see a possibility of Shetland lace instead of like redoing row 1 10
Patrick,
times.
can I tempt you by this shawl? Because
Ooh.
so this is my newest design. This is called Twice Upon a Time. And the reason
Okay.
it's called Twice Upon a Time because it's fully reversible shawl. So it looks the same on both sides. And it looks like cables and lace, but it's actually fake cables. So there's no cable needles involved. No cable
Okay.
needles were harmed during the construction of the shawl. And it has
Okay.
Shetland lace edging.
Okay.
And I put complete video tutorial of how to attach the
Wow.
Shetland lace edging to the shawl. So
Okay.
that pattern is now available on Ravelry.
I'm gonna check that out.
And the good thing about it, if you guys have leftover yarn from all your previous MKALs, this is a perfect pattern for that because it uses 20 gram leftover fingering weight and then one full 100 gram skein for the edging. So just a
So
little.
that's the Advent one?
Yeah.
The one for the Advent? Oh, okay.
Yeah, you
Cool.
can use it as
Yeah.
an advent or you can just use it on your leftover yarn. So the perfect
Right on.
pose. Well, I'm glad you're joining us. Maya, do you want to join me also?
Sure. Hello, everyone. So I chose Frankie Gray Fibers that Grocery Girl knits dyed in Canada. So these are my colors.
That's pretty.
So I have like kind of gradient of like a blue gray and this bright color.
Are you using yellow as your sea color?
And not in Clue One.
Okay.
And so first of all, I ordered the yarn like 3 weeks ago and just arrived last night.
Mm-hmm.
So I was already planning to I'm going to Vermont shipping wool this weekend. So I thought, no problem, I'll buy new yarn, but it arrived, so it's here. I also have, I ordered mohair in the same color.
That's beautiful.
But I looked at all posted test knits and people that already started to knit to decide on my color selection because I did not, although Stephen recommended to use that as C, but I do not like, I don't want to use it in brioche.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use that as eyelets, as color D, but I reserve the right to change it in next clue. So, and I
think that's like a good idea, and it's it gives you the freedom of like changing
and
around.
I'm going to keep like a track of the grams I used in each clue so I don't run out. I also, weighted, it's supposed to be 100 grams, but they're all like 105 and 107. So
nice.
I think I have enough. And the idea was, I think I want to use first of all, I wanted to decide what color I want to use for the welts. And I thought I want to use the darkest. So I'll have, that will be A, that will be B, I'll have brioche in these two, and I'll have eyelets in that. That's the plan. But then I looked at Martin's and I thought maybe I should switch and have that as A and that as B. And then another idea that I liked is to change a little welts by adding a different shade of mohair.
I was thinking about that.
I love that. And it's something I did last year by having 3 different shades of the same mohair color. So I have things to think about till our next Zoom.
I'm very curious on what you're gonna decide. Well, thank you for joining. Jean, do you wanna join me? Wait, where did I go?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
So I decided to do one of the mystery kits this year. I did the Punk Rock Unicorn Autumnal, and here it is. So I am still dithering on my order. I think I just need to, I've cheated, I've looked ahead because I wanted some help. I guess it's not really cheating, but I looked ahead. And I still can't make up my mind. So I think I'm just going to get started and do one because you don't have to invest, I don't think too much to get that first scallop done. And if I don't like it, I'm going to give myself permission to rip it back and try something else. But the other thing about my kit is I've seen some other autumnal kits on the kits, Stephen's kits thread, discussion thread, and they don't look like this. So that's one of the things I noticed is with the mystery kits, they're not necessarily all the same, which for me is disappointing. It means I can't go see what someone else has done and just decide whether I like it or not. But
it's also fun because like they all gonna be different, a little bit different, you know, and depending on what order you choose them to be, it's also gonna be all different. So even if it's the same exact colors, they're like different variations of that.
Oh yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting. It's taking a crutch away from me as I try and, you know.
We're going to be here supporting you along the way.
Yeah, and so just one other quick note. My sisters and I have two sisters. We do this MKAL every year together and decided we were going to record it on YouTube. So we are one row short.
Just put it also in the comments so people can just put the link to your YouTube channel.
Yeah,
you guys know what to do.
Yeah, so it's going to be really interesting. One of my sisters knits European style, so her stitches are on her needles completely differently, which is going to be interesting for Brioche for her. Right. So anyway,
next time invite them both to join us. So we can.
I will.
Yeah, we would love to have all of you. I have another YouTuber who is going to join us now, Debbie. Just unmute yourself.
Hi.
Hi.
I wasn't even sure how to get on here today.
Well, you managed.
I figured it out, right?
And Debbie is going to be my travel companion to Sardinia in a couple of weeks. So we're going to be traveling together. She is also in my local yarn store, regular from my local yarn store. And she's also a YouTuber. So after you're done talking to me, put your YouTube channel link in the comments and people can subscribe to your channel.
Okay, hopefully I can figure that out. So I started this morning, 6 o'clock. And I was going good. It was going good, but and I've never done one of these before.
And you never done brioche before, right?
Never brioche, nothing. I am gonna watch that video the whole way through. However, I have a question. If I stick to the video all day today, will I have it done?
I don't think you're gonna finish the whole meeting today because there is a lot of meeting and he skips around a little bit, I think. I haven't watched all 3 hours, 15 minutes and 52 seconds. But
I was like,
he usually throws part of the clue and then he'll go to the next part of the clue. So he doesn't like literally needs the whole thing.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I wasn't sure. But I did the unruly stitch kit from Anu, and this is my main color.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, and then I have, this is my contrasting B, and I did with the welt these two together so far. I think it's like, and then A, B, C.
Oh, that's just gorgeous.
Yeah, and then we have ballerinas. So it's kind of a little Barbie or unicorn, whatever you want to call it. And I'll do your spoiler. This is how it's like coming out so far. But I like it because I think there's going to be a lot of contrast. This is like the second row of brioche. And I'm like, so I've already ripped this out like 3 times.
Not the first time I knitted brioche, I had to undo it 18 times until it finally clicked. So you just 1/6.
I feel like I have the rhythm. but I had it, and then I noticed in that ridge I had dropped a stitch, so I had to rip it out. And so, and then I got to the brioche, and then I don't know, something happened there, so I had to rip it out. So 2 times I had to do that ridge again, and I got a needle, and that really, really, really helped.
Yeah,
So,
to have the second, if you guys joined later, so there is a couple tips that I think is the takeaway from this party. One is to hide your loose ends in the welts. So once you get to the welt, when you connect the welt, there's 8 rows, and then you connect them, you fold them in half, put all the loose ends inside of that fold. And then when you knit it together, it just hides all the loose ends. And the second, big tip is to, instead of doing what Steven does and trying to pick up the stitches and connect them at the same time, just put them all on the separate needle, pick up those stitches from the 8 rows below, and then knit them together. It's just much faster and easier this way, as we discovered.
and then you have the right amount of stitches.
Right, and you have the right amount of stitches also.
Yeah. So
well, thank you for joining. So Debbie, put the name of your channel in the comments. Okay. And Alberto, do you want to join me?
Hi.
Hi.
Something. Wait.
How do I get off?
Hi. So, not an expert in brioche, but I luckily did a penguono lately, so I had the chance to practice it a little bit. So yes, I tried. I'm actually first the kit. I got the vintage Pisces from the kids.
I love that. That's so beautiful.
And so I work a lot in opera. I'm a dancer and choreographer, so I thought, okay, I have to do something with that theme. It's perfect shawl for that. So I thought of this character in the magic flute, Papageno, and it's very birdie-like, a lot of colors, usually greens and blues. So I'm adding this yellow mohair. It's the Bianca from Westwool, and then this one it's not so okay. You don't know the color, but it's more, yeah. It gives a bit of more bluish tones. And spoilers. So this is wait, I have 700 needles because I'm doing. So I used only the mohair, the yellow one for the eyelets here, and there's the brioche front and back. And I was thinking of using the darkest color as a main, but I was casting on 3 times and was constantly breaking, and yeah. So I said, okay, it's a sign. I don't have to use that one. So I changed and I used a bit lighter one. So for now, I used everything but my actual number C, not number, letter C. Yeah. So yes, this one is still unused, and it's been fun. It's been fun. I'm curious to see. I didn't see close enough one with the garter stitch because it was.
Yeah, I don't know. Seen anybody doing garter stitch up close.
Yeah. So because I was thinking maybe of doing like this one here with the brioche and then maybe one round of garter, but then I said no, it's my very first MKAL, so I thought, okay, I go all the way. So kit and brioche options.
And human self Westknits, because that's the best.
Exactly. Well, also, funny thing, I watched some of them during the preparation to the MKAL, and so I'm used to just skip and go back. So now I was knitting while watching, and then someone was showing their option, and I didn't watch, and I was going back as I was on the recorded one, but no, live I lost it.
Where are you joining us from?
I'm from Italy, but right now I'm in Slovenia.
Oh, nice. We have people from all over the world joining Human Self Westknits, and it's my favorite part, getting to know different people from different parts of the world. So I'm super glad that you joined us this time, and I hope you're finding this helpful also, like some of the tips and tricks that we learn from each other.
Yes, well, as you can see, I have all the ends, so I will try soon. I just finished the brioche, so I will try your tip now, which I'm sure it's going to be very helpful.
And I think another tip I have that ask me how I know I learned it from my own mistake. When you knit your first scallop, don't cut the yarn until you count the number of the stitches on your needle. Sounds stupid, but I managed to skip all the yarn overs in the first welt. And then I talked to like a bunch of friends of mine, and all of us made the same mistake. So before you counted all the stitches on the needle and made sure it corresponds to what you're supposed to have on the needle, don't cut that yarn.
Last minute. Great tip.
Well, thank you all so much that you joined us today. We're going to have another party. Martin is going to come back from his rehearsal, and we're going to have the second party at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and it's going to be 11 o'clock UK time. If you guys want to join us again, please do so. Show us your progress that you made between the parties. I'm sure you're all going to jump back into knitting now, and you might have some new questions or some new tips. And we're probably going to have some other people joining us. So I hope to see you soon. I have the schedule posted on my channel in the post. There is complete schedule there. There's complete schedule posted on my Ravelry group, Fiber Chats again. So if you join the Fiber Chats group, the first line in the group is the announcement with all the schedule and the Zoom link. I also usually post, both Martin and I, we post it on Instagram on the day before. I post it in my group on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, by the way, I have a group there called Knitters Gonna Knit, where we encourage all the yarn-related businesses share their businesses and people connect with each other. So I post there as well. So like we are everywhere, and I hope you can join all the future Zooms, all the future Humans of Westknits, because without you, there's no humans. And I hope to see you later tonight. If not, all these recordings are going to be posted between my channel and Martin's channel. So just give us both a subscribe and follow along. Thank you so very much, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. And I hope to see you at 6 p.m. tonight. Bye.